guys, I'm Karina.
I'm Jennifer.
What's up, bitches?
And that's Eric. And welcome back to the Late Podcast. The Law According to Eric. All right, guys, so we're back with a very exciting theme for this week. Eric sent me a list of themes he wanted to get through, and this was on there, so I decided to go with this. So the theme for today would be Tinder dates.
Yeah, Tinder Horror Stories. And in the spirit of Tinder Horror Stories, I have a dirty joke.
Go for it.
Okay. Karina, you want to hear a dirty joke?
Okay.
2 pigs fell in the mud. Thank you. You want to hear a dirtier one?
3 fell?
3 came out. That's right. I win again.
Mine's an actual dad joke. Though.
Uh-huh.
There's a dating app that caters to arsonists, and every week you get new matches. It's an actual dad joke.
I win. Sorry.
Jen has a joke.
I know.
Aw.
By the way, does anybody else notice that there's only one of us unprepared for these podcasts every week?
No,
She has a list.
I do have a list. You guys are so competitive over this. I don't want to get involved.
All right.
You can tell I was the kid that won those sportsmanship awards.
Oh my God. It's okay. We love you, Jennifer. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So this one, we have a mixture of what would Eric do? Am I the asshole? And at the end, this wasn't on theme, but I found the story that I wanted to read. So the end, it's
right.
one true off my chest. That's what it's called.
Okay. Oh, all right.
That's just our last one. But our first one is for what would Eric do? And the title is, I met a woman on Tinder who turned out to not be a woman. Going to try to keep this as simple as possible. Met a girl on Tinder. We went on a few dates. Second date, there were sexual acts performed on me. Third date, we were going to have sex. Found out right before that she was not a biological woman. I am extremely pissed and cannot let this go for the life of me. I was lied to. I was told a huge lie and had sexual acts performed on me that I would have never consented to if I would have known the truth.
Oh!
Would this count as sexual assault or rape? Edit, I want to be more clear. This was pre-op trans woman, and that's why I knew immediately. But what would you do here? Can I take action against this? He's basically upset about
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I think I'd be pretty mad too. But, I mean, what's his question really? What can he do?
Does it count as sexual assault or rape? Does it, can he go with that?
Interesting question.
It is.
If you're misled. But seriously, the dude couldn't see the Adam's apple. I mean,
so
you just can't.
Yeah.
There was, I don't remember which show it was, but there was an episode. I think it was Law and Order SVU, one of the older ones, but where essentially a guy would pretend to be a wealthy, powerful, director of admissions to a very sought after, prestigious college, and he would use that lie to get these moms to sleep with him, promising to help get their kids into college, right? Mm-hmm. And he was brought up in the show, of course. He was brought up on charges and charged with rape. And the argument was, well, the sex was consensual, whether they thought he was this loser or they thought he was the president of the United States. What's it matter? It's not, he didn't force anybody.
Right.
But then the other question is, well, but what if you consent to sex under false pretenses? Right. Right. Cause I hate to say it, but you see this kind of thing all these TikToks with people what do you need a man? Well, I need a 7-figure this. So, but maybe that's a real thing. Look, there's no way I'm letting you hit it if you're, just if you work as a fucking plumber or whatever. Right. But I don't know that, but in this case, honestly, I don't think it's sexual assault. It sounds like this was consensual. Yeah. And he just,
now he feels less manly or, he feels like something was taken from him and stuff like that.
Something was. I mean, his pride, for one thing.
Yeah, his pride was definitely taken away from him.
I don't know that he has legal action. I'm serious. I mean, could he sue for misrepresentations or something? I don't know. I mean, what did he lose financially?
Nothing. Financially, nothing.
Well, and so you could potentially make an argument for a civil case by saying, I believed that you were a biological female and that we were going to maybe get married and I was spending all this money on you. And it turned out that because I wanted to have a family with you one day, and you can't. So I want all that money back. I don't know how far he'll get.
What would Eric do?
Eric would never publicize that story ever. anywhere, not even a fucking anonymous post. I would
Take it to the grave.
This is something that would be between me and a future therapist. But that's it. So what would Eric do? No, what would Eric not do? And what Eric would not do is let the world fucking know, right? That he
on Reddit at that.
Yeah, that he couldn't catch, sweaty nuts in an Adam's apple. Okay, fuck that. No, that's. I feel. Look, my heart goes out.
No, I feel for him because that's terrible.
Yeah, I knew this topic was going to be interesting, but it's there you go. So, and by the way, I don't know what the rules are. Honestly, I don't have dating apps and stuff. Do you have to disclose your Like, can you say I'm a woman and not be? Yeah. Can you lie? I don't know.
Yeah. We have another story later.
Well, because that might be, well, the only reason I'm saying that is because maybe you can argue, okay, that first he looked so much like a woman that nobody could tell the difference.
Yeah.
And the app had a duty to confirm or verify.
Yeah.
And because they didn't, but even that, if they
Tinder can't verify.
Well, I'm saying maybe you put see, that's it. I'm sure you have to fill out a questionnaire of some kind or an info sheet. You can't just post and say I'm nothing.
Bio.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It. You just put a bio.
But in your bio,
you can literally just write one sentence and just be like, down to fuck, and they'll take it, and that's your whole profile.
Oh.
It'll just say my name, my age, and then just whatever bio you want to put.
Okay, so I honestly, I really don't know how they work. So
Tinder's like the shittiest ones of all of them. That's why so many people hate Tinder, because of how bad and how many scams there are on Tinder. Mm-hmm.
I've read scams and people that have been scammed on Tinder that thought they were meeting one person and it was a shakedown or stuff like that. And I think we had stories like that before, like the college kid that or the guy that committed suicide. He was sending money to somebody overseas. That could be on these apps. So I get that, but this doesn't sound like it was a scam in that sense. It was just like, And by the way, if the tranny, can I say that?
Not anymore.
What's the word? Transgender. Okay. If the transgender person intentionally lied or didn't put anything,
that's the issue. Yeah.
Right. So if they didn't lie, they just left it blank, then, what can I tell you? Kiss at your own risk.
Yeah.
If on the other hand, they lied and said, like, I'm a biological female or whatever, identify as female, then, I don't know, file a complaint. What can I tell you? If it were me, just try to fucking forget it. Get a therapist to talk it out. Just talk it out. Yeah. Talk it out with someone. Understand that just being a little blind doesn't make you not a man.
This person isn't going to go on a date unless he completely frisk the person.
This, I'm pretty sure, traumatized him for life.
I mean, clearly enough to where he's spilling his guts on Reddit. Yeah. But what can I tell you? I sure hope he was smart enough not to put like his real first name and like last name. No,
these are all like,
because somebody like posted by Mark S.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's gonna figure who the fuck who that is. But
no, most people do it from like.
That's pretty. I feel kind of bad for that guy. I mean, but again, you'd think the Adam's apple, stubble, sweaty balls, whatever, something's gonna give this guy away.
You can tell man legs are way different than women legs too.
Either he's not very observant, or the person was so convincing.
Or he's only dated ugly women and thought that was just normal.
That's a possibility.
Yeah. All right.
Or he was,
He's just be lucky you got something.
Or he was, or transgender dude was a fucking sunshine.
That's it.
And he was down with it for a while.
Well,
and then,
you can't throw his pussy up in the air.
I can't do this anymore.
You can't throw his pussy up in the air.
Well, you can I'm just saying, that's a figure of speech. But
it's probably pretty good, because a guy has got to know what a guy likes,
Well, he did get head from him, he said, but
I honestly, there are no words right now. I don't know.
It was probably like the best blowjob he's ever had in his life, and that's why he's so upset.
Yeah, exactly. And he's ashamed of it too. Okay, next one. This is Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for sending a Tinder asshole to McDonald's? For backstory, I'm a female. I live in the U.S. and I'm on dating apps, and I'm finding that a lot of guys are just disrespectful. Some of them are polite and want to start an actual conversation, but a lot, maybe even the majority, are just ridiculous. All of the messages I get are "wanna fuck" or "what are you looking for," which is their way of indirectly saying I want sex with minimal effort. I even have a profile on my profile that I don't do random hookups, but I think but I think overestimated how often people actually react to their profiles. After having this happen a dozen times, I finally snapped. A guy on Tinder messaged me, and the conversation seems to be going okay at first. We messaged back and forth, and then I don't hear a response. That's okay. People get busy. At around 11:30 p.m., he hits me with a, "Sorry, I got busy. What are you up to? Want to have some fun?" During our initial conversation, I made it crystal clear that I'm not looking for hookups. I don't do casual sex, so I reminded him of this, and he starts nagging me. "I knew you'd be a prude. Not sure why you wasted my time. Let's just meet up at my house and talk about it and see where things go." Finally, I was like, "Okay, but come to my house." And then I proceeded to give him the address of a McDonald's in the next town over. I waited for him to get close to the location, and he confirmed that he was about 5 minutes away, and then I unmatched him. I just reached my breaking point with shitty men who feel entitled to enter my body. I know the right thing to do was to not engage, but also part of me feels like he deserved it. Some friends told me that I was the asshole in the situation, but I don't know. Do you think I'm the asshole?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Look, it's Tinder. What do you think you're going to get?
Exactly. She should be on Plenty of Fish. That's what she needs to be on. She doesn't need to be on Tinder.
There are other websites.
Exactly.
Tinder is known for hookups.
Yeah, exactly. And like, what does she expect from men?
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but I stopped paying attention. Can you just give me the Cliff Notes? What was that really about?
So he texted her
what's
like
his problem?
he wanted to fuck, and she was like, she's tired of men just asking her that because she doesn't do casual sex. So she gave him the McDonald's in the next town over his address. So he showed up to the McDonald's, and then she unmatched him, so he can't even text her back.
Oh, yeah, that's a dick move for her. No, I mean, because look, she could easily just respond and say, "No, not into hookups. Read my profile, please stop."
Well, she did, and he just kept calling her a prude.
Okay,
and
saying she can't block him.
Yeah, she unmatched him after. That's all you have to do is unmatch somebody.
Right, so unmatch first. Like, why?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I'm just saying, look, it could have been much worse. You know, she could have been like, "Yo, meet me at this hotel. I'm gonna get us a room or whatever, but I need you to check in for." Oh, and then what you do? "Hey, I'm running late. Can you just check in for me? Pay it off. I'll pay you back when I get there."
That's what she should have done.
Oh, stuck in a meeting. Can you order some champagne and strawberries or whatever? I'll be right up. And then be like, "Yeah, you know, I'm not feeling it." Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would have been like a better revenge.
But McDonald's in the title.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how petty? What did she really get out of that except the satisfaction? And she probably not even the satisfaction because she unmatched him anyway, and now she can't.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Is she the asshole? Yeah, she is. Sorry, you are. That's number one. Number two, let me just say, shout out to whoever this is. Okay. I don't know how old you are. Okay. But if this is your concern, they're right. Get on like fucking Plenty of Fish or Silver Singles. I know that because my sister-in-law's father.
Okay, they might not be old though.
Well, I'm just saying he was on that. He bragged about that before he passed away. He was a widow for several years. And he actually tried to convince my dad to use like Silver Singles.
Oh.
So, you know, it was actually quite a comical moment when he was like trying to explain like what it was. And, you know, we all kind of knew, but it was funny like watching him try to like kind of explain
Unravel
it. Yeah.
The holds.
but my point is, I think that you guys are right in that if Tinder is known
Yeah.
really for like just people just getting these casual hookups and that's not what you're looking for, just get off the fucking app.
Yeah.
You're not going to change the app and you're not going to change the people that use it.
Exactly.
So, you know what? Not only is she the asshole, she's a stupid asshole.
Well, Reddit actually voted her not the asshole.
Reddit is wrong again.
I know.
Okay.
Doesn't, shocker. What? Reddit got it wrong? Shocker. You know what I think the problem is? I think in this category, it's all women responding.
I don't think so.
Yes, it is.
No.
All women. Girl power. You send them.
Women, we kind of thought it was a dick move.
No, I was like, send them to McDonald's, girl. No, that's not the Reddit. You go. That's right. Fuck him. Make him go to the drive-thru too. Like whatever, you know. Like, come on, give me a break.
Okay, next one. What would Eric do? This title is I am being compulsively stalked by my Tinder date. This one.
It sounds serious. All right.
She was really being stalked. Well, it hasn't like, it's not like physically hurt or anything, but she's being stalked. But she said, I'm being stalked by a one-time Tinder date and I don't know how I can prove it or prevent it. Our date ended with me storming out and threatening to call the cops, so no one knew. So he knew that there wasn't anything between us. She doesn't give any more detail on what happened, but I see him a minimum of 4 times a day, but he makes sure to do it in public. I know he's photographing me with his phone, but he pretends to take a selfie. So when I try to alert the police, I look like the crazy one. Here's a recount of my sightings of him just today. At the coffee shop in the morning, this was a new shop that I went to. Across the street while I was walking to class. In the grocery store next to the hypoallergenic boxed milk section. I never even told him I was allergic to dairy, so now he's paying attention. At my sister's job in the parking lot, he keeps switching cars as well. At the hairdresser, he was in the adjacent cafe. At the gym, this was my first time there as well. And finally, as usual, when I got home, he was sitting at the edge of my street. My brother has now been bringing me home and picking me up every day, and my dad is coming into town to start staying with me throughout the night. It's always in a public place, and he never confronts me or tries to communicate with me, or neither does he do anything violent. He called me over 100 times every day after our date until I changed my number. He also sent me some psycho texts about how we were soulmates, destined for each other, etc., etc. The scary thing is that the text really escalated suddenly. It went from I was disappointed I didn't hear back to you to I was already planning the house I'd build for you in a matter of 15 minutes. I've saved everything and I keep a log of my sightings of him and take pictures. I've been to the police twice, but they've said because it's only in a public place and he never does anything violent or illegal and he's never threatened me, there's nothing they can do. I'm worried for my safety and I can't even work anymore because I work with children. I need an income so I can pay my tuition, so I can't even go to grad school right now either. I can't even go anywhere alone anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. What would you do in my situation?
Yeah, that's really freaky.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Really freaky. And it's really, I mean, obviously the first person you would say is to go to the police.
Police don't do anything unless you're actually harmed.
Doing anything because the guy is smart enough to stay in a public place and
the police are lazy.
Wow, I don't know.
Is the question, what would Eric do,
Yeah.
or what should Eric tell her to do?
Whatever
'Cause
one
they're
you want to
different
take it.
answers.
All right. Well, let's start with what would Eric do first?
Okay, what would Eric do is Eric would find either a pro bono service that deals with women that are in danger, and
That's
they
a
often
thing?
have attorneys. Yeah, there are usually it's because of domestic violence or something physical, but there are counseling services available. I would maybe have a letter delivered to this guy or hand delivered if he's going to be
Right.
someplace,
Mhm.
maybe from an attorney, basically saying that we're going to start taking action, seek a restraining order, etc. If you don't
Right.
stop. That's probably the cheapest. I don't know how effective it's going to be because it certainly sounds like this guy is, in his own world when it comes to this.
Yeah.
But that's probably what I would do. Now, if you're asking what I think she should do,
Mm-hmm.
all of this could have been avoided if she just gave up the vajayjay.
Oh my god.
Just saying.
No, because it could have made him crazier.
No, it could
It could have made
no,
him.
that
What
would
if
have.
she was a sunshine?
That's my point. Look, this guy was gonna build her a house. Okay, she was gonna be swimming in it, and then she could divorce him and get half of that too. Look, sometimes you got to give up the chon chon. That's just the way it goes. I'm just saying. Okay, you're on fucking Tinder. She's on Tinder too. What did she think
Well,
it's
yeah,
for?
she went on the date. It
But
just didn't end well.
okay, but I'm saying like Tinder's not to like get a fucking pen pal.
Well, he was looking for a soulmate apparently.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I bet you a lot of this would never have happened had she just gave it up. Hey, by the way, maybe she wasn't a sunshine. Maybe she was like kind of stank and nasty, and he would have been like, "Oh, yo,
Never mind.
yeah, thanks, that was good, but we're not clicking." I'm just saying.
I don't know. He seems really crazy.
Yeah, I know, but I want you to consider that. And by the way, if everything she wrote is accurate, then I actually do feel for her, and I do think that it's. These types of situations ultimately escalate, takes time. The more this person feels frustrated and shut out, the worse it might get. So I know that we do throw some humor.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But if it's kind of being exaggerated, like, did the guy really call 100 times? Because, people
I
say
know.
that. Oh
I
my
know.
God, this guy's called me hundreds of times.
And it's like 3.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Does he, by the way, does he go to certain coffee shops? Does he live nearby anyway?
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird that like all of a sudden he's at the same gym she just started at.
Another cafe she just tried.
Yeah. But again, I don't know how much of that is conjecture
or coincidental. Because
especially if it's a small town.
yeah.
But let's assume if we take everything she said at face value, she should get some legal help. She should, potentially file for a restraining order. Try to keep the guy that he can't get into a certain distance. The taking pictures with his phone, nothing you can do about that if it's in public.
Yeah.
But
She claimed she couldn't get a restraining order, right? That she went to the police and they wouldn't do
she didn't say she tried to get one. She just said she talked to the police and there was an issue about whether she was in imminent
so
physical
is the
danger.
process to get a restraining order
You don't,
different?
yes,
You
that
don't
you
have
file with the court. You don't have to do it right. You don't go to the police to get a restraining order. You go to the court. A judge
So
issues that.
what do you need for the restraining?
Yeah, you do have to show by declaration that you are afraid for your safety, but restraining orders are meant to prevent the violence.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you have to wait until he attacks and then say, okay, now I need a restraining order. You just have to show that you have a reasonable fear, right? So we had one case where the guy lived in another state, right? He was swatting her house or whatever. Well, you're not in a reasonable fear of imminent danger. The guy's 3,000 miles away.
Yeah, right.
The guy's on her block and going to her gym and her coffee shop. Yeah. You can make an argument by declaration under penalty of perjury that you are genuinely in fear for your safety or your life, and you need this person to stay away from you. Mm-hmm. And chances are, if she's a young woman in college or just, a judge will give it to her, especially if she explains kind of how they met and she didn't want anything to do with him and this guy doesn't stop. Mm-hmm. I think she'd have a better, at least in Los Angeles, I would say, I'd feel 90% confident that I could get a restraining order against somebody like that, just based on her declaration.
I thought I was being stalked once. I kept seeing this one car, and I knew it was the same car because they had custom license plates. I'm not going to say it because, but I would see them everywhere, to the point that I saw them once here in Beverly Hills, like the car, in the morning, like same time I'm coming to work. And they were taking kind of the same streets I was taking to get here, but then they drove, they took a left. And I've seen them before. I haven't seen them recently anymore, but when I used to live over there, always by over there,
That's
the streets,
weird.
It was so weird. And I knew it was the same car, obviously the plates, but it was always so weird to me. Mm-hmm. I know. And I was like, and the thing about that, it's imagine how many times I had to see the car to be like, okay, I've seen this car enough to know that license plate. Yeah. But I was like, so I get her, but I wasn't in danger. Oh, I hope I wasn't in danger, but I wasn't in danger. So, hopefully.
I have two thoughts. Mm-hmm. So A, you try to get the restraining order. B, just start taking pictures of him and start stalking him.
Yeah.
Turn the table around.
3, hit him with your car. Okay, no, I'm sorry. No,
Karina, no.
Nothing that will get hurt.
Right, no, we don't do that.
You hire the biggest guy you can find to scare the shit.
No, we don't do that either.
You haven't heard that sound on TikTok though? He's just a guy. Hit him with your car.
No, I haven't. And what I'm suggesting here is, unless you want the tables turned and get a restraining order against her and have that on her record for the rest of her life.
Okay. Don't hit him with your car.
Right. Just be the better person.
The guy is not going to go to court and get a restraining order against her. It's not going to happen.
I'll tell you what, if she hits him with his car, she better have good insurance, because some lawyer's getting involved at that point.
All right, next one. Am I the asshole for pretending to be white on Tinder?
What?
I swear to God.
Oh my God, I know this is going to be good too.
Okay. I'm a 21-year-old male of Indian descent living in the United States.
Yes, the answer is yes. No, but he's not an asshole for it. He needs to do that.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Sorry.
I had been struggling on Tinder for a while now, and I decided to shake things up last week by enhancing my pictures. When I played with the brightness and saturation settings, I soon realized that with a few tweaks, I could make myself look whiter. I uploaded the new pictures to my profile and changed my name on the app to Josh. Your brother's going to love this. The response was unimaginable.
Wait, he went from Jupinder to Josh?
To Josh, yep.
Oh my God.
In a few hours, I've gotten more matches than I have gotten in the entire 2 months that I was on the app. One of the girls I've been talking to, Brooke, agreed to meet with me this Friday.
Girls' names.
I know.
McKaylee, Brooke, Dakota, Mackenzie, all of those.
My dilemma is, if I meet her in person, she will obviously see that I am not white. We wouldn't have matched if I had put my real pictures on, had I not represented myself. But we've been texting nonstop these last few days, and I feel like there's a real chemistry between us. Would I be the asshole if I went to meet her in person? And am I the asshole for pretending to be the white guy on Tinder?
Well, what does he think is going to happen when he meets Brooke?
He thinks his personality's so good that she won't even care that there's not the white man that she swiped right on.
Maybe that's true. Maybe he is so awesome that she won't notice.
I doubt it. But I think he's the asshole for both. I think he would be the asshole to show up and Brooke standing there waiting, matcha in hand or something. He shows up and this is
matcha in hand. Oh, that wasn't lost on me. Right. Damn.
What do you think?
I think that you secretly don't like white people.
Me? That's not true.
No.
I love matcha too, exactly.
Okay, so. I'm sorry. Here's what I think. I think this can go one of two ways, okay? I think if he really wants to test this theory, he shows up. But then he goes, no, but then gets super honest. Look, I really, really thought your picture was beautiful. I was really afraid you wouldn't want anything to do with me. So I just changed the brightness. Everything else is real. My name is not Josh. It's, Jalapinder or whatever it is. But I'd really like to take you out on this date. I have no other expectations. I'm, captivated by your beauty. And you know what? If she's a typical woman, she'll fall for that kind of stuff.
No, she won't.
Yes, she will.
Yes, she won't.
Especially if he promises that he has no ulterior motive. He really just wants to spend an evening having dinner and talking, getting to know her. Fine. At the worst case, if she's like most bitchy white girls, she'll just get a free dinner out of it and go home.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other way he can play it is he could either send a friend that looks, whiter than he is. I don't know. Or the other thing, I hate to say this, but he should get the fucking foundation or whatever women put on
and make himself
look whiter.
Oh my God.
Take whatever fucking Take whatever Michael Jackson took.
Those are your words of wisdom.
Well, what choices does he have? He could show up, right? I'm saying he could show up and waste the drive because I could literally picture him walking in, like waving at her, and she looking at him like, "Who the fuck are you? You're not like, why are you? Who are you? I don't know you."
She'll be like, "I'm waiting for someone."
Right, I'm waiting for Josh. I don't Okay, that could happen.
Yeah, that could be embarrassing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think the best option is for him just to come clean, or what he actually could do is he could communicate with her, send her ahead of time.
Yeah.
The real picture and just say, look, I really feel bad because this could be conceived as misleading or perceived actually as misleading. I don't want to mislead. You're really pretty. It seems like we could hit it off. I love your, beautiful eyes. This is who I really am. I hope you don't say no. I'd still like to just love to take you out. We'll take our own cars. No, I have no expectation, no strings attached. Just would really love to get to know you a little bit. Maybe that'll work.
Yeah, maybe.
And so if the question is what would I do, like I'd probably do that. I think that I would not want to risk the public humiliation to show up at a restaurant and have a chick like, you're nowhere close to what you're and like.
Yeah, my ego wouldn't be able to handle.
Yeah,
that.
That's why come clean now.
Yeah.
Do you think he's the asshole for doing that on Tinder there?
It's hard for me to answer that because I don't.
Asshole probably isn't the right word.
Yeah, I don't know enough about how the apps work, but I'm guessing people do that kind of shit all the time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
So
I feel for the guy that he couldn't get a date.
they don't have like an Indian Tinder? No, I'm serious. Like they got like the Christian
I'm
singles and they got fucking farmers only. I've seen.
Why doesn't his parents set him up? First of all.
Oh, they do
First
that.
of all,
Well, but not everybody wants that arranged marriage thing.
if he can't find nobody,
No,
that's
and
his last choice.
some of them Indian broads, you don't want to, you don't want anything to do with them either.
It's tough.
Maybe he just likes white girls.
Yeah,
That might be-
Maybe that is the issue. He doesn't want someone.
Right.
Oh, he might also.
You're right.
And that's okay.
You can just
Look,
go
to
hang
each
out at the local Starbucks.
I'm just saying to each their own. But my bigger point here is if I'm guessing that there's all sorts of bullshit that goes on in these apps. So why is it any different?
Yeah. I think it's comical, honestly.
You know what would be the best thing? The best thing would be if he sends her a real picture of himself. It's like, look, this is what I look like. I need you to know that. And then she responds with a different picture. She's like, oh, well, glad you're honest.
Because I don't look like that either.
And she's like some fucking 50-year-old lumberjack. From like the Oregon Trail or whatever.
I saw some where like
that would be good.
I saw some where like the guys stopped talking to them because they look fatter than like in real life than what they did in their pictures, or like the pictures are old and they're like, no, like so someone told one of the girls like, you need to like let people know you don't look like that anymore.
That's too bad because let me tell you, every guy knows.
Wow.
Every guy knows, according to the guy code. Okay. Now I don't know that this is true like when you're in your 40s or 50s or whatever, but when you're in that college age area and the guy code says that the fatter the girl, the better the sex. Don't laugh. You want to know why?
Oh my God, why?
Okay, because first of all, fat chicks aim to please. They don't know when they're going to get it again. So they want to keep you coming back.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing's off limits, right? That's I've been told, right? You just get, right. And that's rule number one. The fatter the girl, the better sex. And the second rule under the guy code, everybody knows, the cheaper the hotel, the better the sex. If you want to have that romantic, I'm sorry to drop this kind of knowledge on you, but if you are aiming to have like a romantic getaway at a beautiful luxury hotel, you're not having good sex. Okay. You're going to have like that slow romantic bullshit sex. If you go to the cheapest fucking spot, you know what? It doesn't matter what you do to that room.
Mm-hmm.
You get both can just fucking explode everywhere. It doesn't make a difference. Right? I'm just saying, like, there's nothing pristine. You don't have to worry about knocking the lamp over and paying for it. It doesn't fucking matter.
Like, if it breaks, it's too bad.
Right. Half the room's broken anyway. You know what? Get the bed that takes the quarters that, massage your bed. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I just remember from like an old episode of Modern Family, there was a scene. But it was very funny too. But the point is that, if it ends up being like a big heifer, probably going to be the best sex he ever had.
Yeah, I know. But the guy was like, you should like let people know.
Well, I understand that not everybody gets down that way. I'm just saying, if you know the guy code, okay, you know. So look, bottom line, if you know, you know. If you got to ask, you just don't know.
Okay. All right. Next one. Next one is, what would Eric do? Terminated because of a Tinder one-night stand reporting me for sexual harassment.
Oh.
Honestly, it's not his fault. I'm not going to lie. But it's not like...
What? You mean there's a psycho girl out there? Come on, shut the front door.
Brooke took over.
Yeah, my inner Brooke.
Okay. I worked at a state university up until 2 weeks ago, and I was also enrolled in a few courses to take advantage of the reduced tuition.
Oh, he had a state job. No, that makes a difference. I wonder if it's California. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I don't know.
No, that's important. I'll tell you why later.
Okay. Last month, I attended a statewide program where many faculty joined together to swap ideas for student programs. There.
Oh, were all they swapping was ideas? I love how people write this. Sorry.
I know.
Just to try to make it seem like it was all innocent bullshit.
I know.
There's no way he wasn't looking for a hookup to begin with.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
There, I met a woman working at another university who, coincidentally, we had matched with me earlier on Tinder that day. We both recognized each other right away, and by the end of the day, we were making out in her hotel room. Fast forward to a few days after the summit. We talked on the phone and texted nearly every day. Then one day, she just seemed cold and didn't seem interested in talking to me anymore. I tried to get her to tell me what had changed, and I felt like we had hit it off well enough, and even though we didn't live in the same city, I was interested in seeing her on the weekends. She was a sunshine.
How does he know? Supposedly all they did was make out.
No, didn't they say together?
He said we made out a little bit.
No, he said that at the end of the night, they were making out in her hotel room.
Yeah, making out.
Oh.
That doesn't mean fucking.
You're right.
I hate to say it like that, but I'm just saying, no, I don't know what fucking.
Well, maybe he just didn't, put in all the gory details.
I don't know. I'm just saying that I think that was written on purpose.
To let us know it didn't go anything.
Or to make it seem like less, sus than maybe it really was.
Okay.
Or the bottom line is the girl code just doesn't know how to make definitions right. Because you're making out in the guy code doesn't mean, hitting the skins. I'm just saying.
That's true. I tried to get her to tell me what had changed, and I felt like we had hit it off well enough, even though we didn't live in the same city. I read that already. Sorry. She ignored most of my advances, and finally I sent her a GIF of a GIF. How do you pronounce that?
GIF?
The little
picture?
Yeah.
GIF.
Oh. Of a dancing dick, because I'm stupid, and I don't know why I thought she would think it was funny. Jen loved that one.
I like this guy.
Well, she didn't think it was funny. I thought I could finally get a response. I immediately did get a text from her saying that that I was disgusting, etc., and wanted me to apologize, that I was a total creep. I told her to call me if she wanted an apology from me. I never got an answer. Next thing I know, the week after, I'm called into my boss's office and told to leave as I have been deemed as a potential danger to students and faculty. I was banned from campus while they investigated a sexual harassment claim filed against me. I was floored when I found out it was by her. HR and student conduct, because I'm technically also a student, got involved. I explained that she wasn't even in the city, let alone in the same school, so I don't understand the sexual harassment. I explained how we met on Tinder, and long story short, they found me guilty of sexual harassment. And next thing I know, I'm terminated with severance pay of the days that I was not allowed to be at work and allowed to keep the tuition reduction for autumn semester. My question is, how could I get my job back? Or do I have a case to even get my job back underneath the university? I just feel like my privacy was invaded, and I don't think that sending a meme to a girl I was interested in should result in termination. I understand now that what I sent to her was inappropriate, and now I'm in counseling, but I am shocked that I have lost. He's not.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. I lost my position because someone who I do not work with reported me to my office about a meme I sent them. Is there anything that I could do to fight this? What would you do?
Unless he's leaving something out. That's messed up.
That is messed up.
Really messed up.
That's really messed up.
I don't understand how we live in a world where stalker guy can get away with, stalking.
And he sent a dick pic.
Not even a dick pic. It's not even an actual dick pic. It's just a GIF,
Yeah.
So I'm not going to lie. I got to go on Google Images and find me that. Because
I was thinking the same thing.
The dancing dick on group.
Oh, believe me, you're gonna get a text from me later.
The group chat's gonna get the text message later.
I mean, my poker group. What are you talking about? I'm in a WhatsApp group. My poker home game.
They're gonna get that dancing dick picture.
Fuck
I
yeah.
thought it was hilarious. Honestly, I don't feel like he did anything to her. She probably just got an ick from him or something. He seems like the guy that would give an ick. But at the same time, she could have just said, like, I don't really want to talk to you anymore, instead of just reporting him for that.
Well, the reason I asked what state he was in, because it's very possible that, for example, if you are employed by the state of California in their university system, you may have to sign like almost like a morality clause, like NBA players have, or like a code of conduct. And just doing that in an unwelcomed way, even if it's not to a fellow student or somebody else, but somebody that's also part of that overall state employment system, that might be enough.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if I work for Cal State Northridge and you work for Cal State LA, we still both work for Cal State.
Cal State.
Don't have to be in the same city. Right. And so we're still technically employed by the same state. Right. So they are, I would say they're coworkers.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, even if they're not on the same campus, if he sends inappropriate messages or pictures to a coworker, yes, he can likely be fired for that. Now, having said all that, what a sick cunt.
Yeah.
How do you fucking ruin a guy's job?
Tuition
crazy. Reduction, his education, because he sent a fucking GIF image, a joke. Even if it was a real picture, I would still be a little hesitant because they're consenting adults.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like he has any authority over her.
No.
It's different, I think, when it's a professor and a student, and then you can hold something over, but they just seem like they're peers right.
Yeah. No.
And they're not even at the same campus.
Yeah, no.
So that tells me that she's truly psychotic.
Yeah.
That's way beyond.
I have a real psycho story soon.
Oh yeah. Well, hit us. I mean,
that was not next though. But
I mean, what would Eric do? How can he get his job? Honestly, you probably can't.
Yeah.
Again, if you work for the same state system and you're technically coworkers and you violated a code of conduct, they probably have the right to fire you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I hate to say it.
This is going to be his villain origin story because that is crazy.
It is crazy. It's really messed up.
Yeah.
And it actually really bothers me when stuff like that happens because it invalidates all the real justifiable claims of sexual.
That's right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because while I don't condone any unwelcome behavior, I do think that we're at a point, where like whether you want to call it cancel culture or whatever, these are two consenting adults that have already had some physical intimacy.
Yeah.
These sends are,
and they didn't technically start talking there. They talked on Tinder first.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Together,
outside of the campus. But again, coworker to coworker, and he sends her this to her private. The only other thing I can think of, and he doesn't say it in here, maybe if they were both using state-owned or university-owned phones, like sometimes you get a phone as part of your job.
Yeah. You think he was texting?
I don't know, because I can tell you that I know real-life stories where judges were kicked off the bench and fired because they were using their judicially assigned laptop to watch porn. And they weren't doing it. Well, they weren't doing it in court.
Those for a reason.
No, they weren't. It wasn't in court. It was back in chambers when nobody's there. It's like their little office.
Yeah.
But technically, the equipment is owned by the county that they're employed by, and it's that's a violation. So maybe something like that. But that's really all I can think of.
Either that, or he's not telling us the whole truth, and he was really just actually harassing her with message after message after message.
That also could be.
He was saying I was trying to reach out to her, and I did this and that. So we don't know the full story. He could just be victimizing himself, and he really could have been harassing her with so many messages.
That's also a possibility.
Yeah, we don't know what he was sending her before. We just know what he said now.
All right, next one. Am I the asshole for catfishing my underage sister on Tinder and humiliating her in order to teach her a lesson?
I'm gonna say yeah.
That is a lot to swallow.
Big ass, yeah.
But go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
Let's hear this.
Last week, I was using my sister Ashley's phone because mine was dead. I'm sorry,
Is that really her name?
That's really her name.
Oh my gosh.
Because her phone was dead. I needed to call a friend to confirm plans. Dialing my friend's number, I saw a Tinder notification of some dude messaging her. Immediately, I asked her why she's on Tinder. She's 17. And she grabbed her phone back and said, none of your business. I decided that I wanted to have a little fun with this. I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she's just swiping for fun. So I didn't want to go straight to ratting her out to our parents. To test if she was using it for fun, I decided I was going to make a Tinder profile of someone else and message her and see if she responds. I asked a good friend of mine from back in college, who happens to be a male model, Kevin, if he'd mind if I used his pictures and explained the situation. He thought it would be hilarious and told me to go for it. I created the account, set my age to 22, set my swipe radius to a mile, and quickly found my sister's account. Her age was set to 19, which is a lie. She's still in high school. So I was definitely more suspicious of her now. I super liked, and less than an hour later, she matched and messaged me. I decided to set up the date to a fancy restaurant downtown for Sunday afternoon and told her that we could head to my place afterwards. She was completely receptive and said she'd meet me there. She told our parents that she was hanging out with one of her track friends and spending the night at her place. After she left, I told our parents everything and showed them all of the messages. They were pissed, and I suggested that we all go down to the restaurant. At the end, my dad and I were the only ones who went inside and saw her sitting at the table alone, dolled up, waiting for Jim. My dad went up to her and said, Jim's not coming. And she started screaming, asked her what we were doing here. I told her that there was no Jim and that it was fucking stupid of her to be trying to meet grown-ass men on Tinder at her age. My dad harped onto that and lectured her on lying and meeting strange men on the internet and being so willing to go back to a stranger's place. We were a bit loud, so people were staring at us, and my sister eventually bursted out into tears and ran outside. I told my friends in a group chat the situation, and they all agreed it was hysterical, except two of my female friends who said I was a fucking dick and cruel to her. My other friends defended me and said that she needed to be taught a lesson, wondering who's right here and if I went too far. Do you think I'm the asshole?
Yeah, I think that went a bit too far.
Yeah, I feel like I understand him trying to be like, okay, you shouldn't be on Tinder, like, you're young. But I feel like he just went to a limit that's wrong. Like, that's, you humiliated her, poor little girl.
You can't do that to a teenager.
Yeah.
They're already like kind of fragile enough as it is. But I mean, obviously something needed to be done if she was meeting people on Tinder. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that was it.
Eric, thoughts?
I think there's a lot more to this.
Right.
And I don't mean this to sound bad or disgusting. It's almost like he's jealous of his sister. And I don't necessarily mean incestually jealous, but maybe he doesn't date a lot. Maybe he doesn't have a girlfriend. Maybe he's
seeing that his
striking
sister,
out and she's out there painting the town, getting all these swipes or likes or match, whatever it is. That might be a part of it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel like this was really done for her safety.
No, it was not done for safety at all.
I think that's an after the fact sort of way he's putting it.
To defend himself.
And that's number 3. The fact that he involved the parents tells me that this was done to intentionally humiliate and hurt.
And get her in trouble.
Yeah, he could have just as easily gone there himself, like, look, sis, you need to be careful. Mm-hmm. You don't know what this fucking guy is, who he is, whatever. But you bring mom and dad into it and go there with dad, cause a scene in a restaurant. I really, really think that was uncalled for. Not necessary.
It was really asshole. It was super asshole.
Very. Okay, I understand 17-year-olds are not of the age of consent unless you're in some other country. Certain states, actually. I think Alabama, it's like 14 or Nevada, 16. Like that, yeah, but again, if they're in California, it's 18. But nonetheless, the way in which he went about this, right?
And he's still like, no, I'm not wrong.
No, and the father shouldn't have played along.
Yeah.
What the father should have done would be like, look, at 17, I don't allow you to do this. You're still in my roof and I'm going to cut off your phone. Or I don't know. Like, I can tell you, like, I have daughters, and if I were faced with that kind of situation, I would not let my son do this to her, my sister.
No.
I just find it very, very douchey. Mm-hmm. And I definitely think he's the asshole for that. Mm-hmm. I don't care what his friends say. That's bullshit.
Mm-hmm. No, everyone said he was the asshole.
Yeah, for sure he was.
Like, asshole.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. What would Eric do? I have been blackmailed by my Tinder date. So last year, I met a woman on Tinder, and we dated for about a month. I accepted a job transfer with my company to another state, and we broke things off with a promise to stay in touch. I moved away, and that was that. We remained in contact for a few months. She came to visit me once or twice, and then things just kind of fizzed out. We didn't talk for about 2 months as well. I subsequently met someone else who happens to work with me. I know, a bad idea. We are both managers in the company, but whatever. And we really hit it off. We started to date and we really enjoyed each other's company. Then, one day, out of the blue, this old Tinder date shows up to my doorstep ready to move in with me. She says she quit her job and was ready to start a new life with me. I never gave her the impression that I wanted to continue a relationship, and I hadn't even talked to her for months. Now she's at my house with all of her belongings and a smile. I had to go to work to avoid an argument. I told her that she could hang out at my house until I got home from work, and then we would talk about this. Well, halfway through my workday, this woman showed up at my job and started to yell at my coworker that I have been seeing for the past few months, causing such a scene that I had to call the police and escort her out of the building. Apparently, I had left my computer open and she read all of the messages that me and my coworker had been having and flipped out.
Wow.
When I got home that night from work, Tinder lady was in my apartment and had made herself right at home. I called the police again and had her escorted out of my home. Now here's where it gets interesting. Fast forward 3 months. I haven't heard anything from this Tinder date and had pretty much written her off. Then I got an email from her stating that I owe her $1,000 for all the money that she spent on me since she met me. Money she spent on things like occasional dinners she paid for and any cost of unannounced travel to visit me. I told her to pretty much get lost. A few weeks go by and then I got a nice long message from her stating that she has downloaded all of the texts and pictures that I had on my computer from my coworker that I was dating, and that if I don't pay her the $1,000, then she will send them to the CEO of my company with a letter detailing my involvement with the coworker. This is a fireable offense for us. I ignored her, hoping that she would go away. But today I got another message from her stating that she has already forwarded all the pictures and messages to my company CEO and has also sent them as a private message to all of my coworkers' Facebook feed. My company CEO called me in and was livid. I was told that I would not be fired, but my promotion to COO was off the table for good, and my coworker is now being assigned to another office. Do I have any recourse with this Tinder woman for the loss of a promotion that I have worked my whole career for? What would you do here?
What kind of a moron
Yep.
leaves some crazy Tinder woman alone in his apartment?
She showed up out of nowhere and said, I'm ready to move in. Let's start this family. And he was just like, yeah, just stay here while I go to work.
That's an idiot.
But I feel bad for him. Actually, let's not bag on him while he's down. He's actually. I was like, wait, he's really.
If a crazy person showed up at your door, would you leave them alone in your place?
I don't think he knew she was that crazy then. Like, I mean,
Well, how do you not know that when she shows up with her fucking suitcases?
Up with her suitcase,
Right.
and they hadn't talked for months.
That's true.
That alone is crazy.
That's true.
I'm sorry, I was getting a call from. No, not that. I had to like send it to voicemail. So at this point, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay. I tend to be slightly more risk averse when it comes to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like he was in a pretty decent management position, vying to be the chief operating officer of the company. Before all this blew up, I would have given her the $1,000.
I would
honestly, I would have been like, you know what?
Threatened my job.
Anything. Like, you know what? The only concern is it will that.
It could escalate.
Right. And then will she keep going and she's crazy? But at first, I'd take that risk, right?
Yeah.
Here, you know what? I'm sorry we misunderstood each other. My intention was never to mislead you. I appreciate everything you've done. It's only fair. Here you go. Best of luck. That's what I would have done. So you ask what would Eric do? Eric would have paid the bitch off.
Yeah.
Now, if at this point though, after she blew me up, I would sue the shit out of her. Fuck yes, he has ground.
Yeah.
Tortious interference with prospective economic advantage, loss of income or wages, whatever, harassment, right? Civil extortion. I would not fucking stop.
And he has police reports on record.
I would fucking, that's right. If all this bitch owned was a shitty old car, I would own that car by the time I was done. Okay? I would make her rent it from me.
Yeah, that bitch is fucking insane. That bitch is insane.
Yeah.
They dated for a month. That's the worst part. They dated for a month.
Wow. But at least he knows who she is. You know, sometimes when people get, by these crazy people online and they don't know who they are, they can never find them, the police can never find them. Well, at least he knows exactly who she is, where to find her. Probably has, digital records of everything.
Oh, I thought that was insane, though. But like Eric said, yeah, go ahead, sue her. You found the dancing dick?
I sent it to my poker group
Oh
already.
my god.
Thank you.
That's not a gift.
Wow, I know. Oh, I know. I just hurt my knee. God damn it.
Okay. Okay, next one is, am I the asshole? Oh, I'm sorry, Eric.
Fuck. Bang my knee on my desk. God damn it.
All right.
I'll walk it off. Sorry.
Do
Go
you want me
ahead.
to read or no?
No, yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
Am I the asshole for wanting my mom to make her Tinder profile more classy?
Her mom?
Mom. His mom.
Oh, God. Why is he seeing his mom's profile?
My mother had me at a pretty young age, 18, so she is still a relatively young woman at 38. My dad is not in the picture, and I was going through Tinder the other day to obviously try and get laid, and I set my age setting to a pretty high level to try and cast a bigger net, if you get what I'm saying. And well, I see my mother, and obviously I don't swipe right, you sickos, but I hate to say this, but my mom came across as a typical Tinder hoe, saying not to swipe right if you aren't 6 foot or taller, and very muscular, having pictures showing off her butt, ill, and saying shit like she is down to eat a guy's ass.
Oh!
Time infinity.
Oh! Oh!
Obviously, seeing all this shit horrified me and completely killed my desire to get laid anymore. I later told my mom what I saw. She's surprised because we aren't even in the same age range and makes a joke about me going after MILFs. I tell her to stop joking around because this is serious. I asked my mom if she could at least make her profile a little bit more classy, and she immediately said no. She said Tinder's for fun, is a fun hookup app, so that's what she's gonna do. She's gonna go have fun. And says that I wouldn't even have this problem if I wasn't trying to fuck someone's mom. I leave her with me saying, I just hope you know I'm disappointed in how you are handling the situation. She tells me that there is no situation and that was the end of that. I'm obviously still very upset about this thing, and my mother can tell. Am I the asshole here? I don't think what I'm doing is such a wrong thing. I put that twice, I don't know why. But everyone I've talked to has said that I was the asshole in the situation. What do you think?
That would be pretty traumatizing to see your mom, in her little
Your mom saying she would eat ass.
That's pretty bad.
Your mom, finding your mom saying she would eat ass and posting her ass on Tinder.
I can't even imagine.
But the fact that he's looking for a woman that's his mother's age.
Well, he might be
that's a
looking
bit
for
much,
like someone just like his mom.
Yeah, he might like
Isn't
have
that what's
like
that called? Oedipus complex or something? I don't know. It's something like that, right? Where you like.
It's not Oedipus.
That's when the man wants a woman like his mother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, that's what I'm saying. Maybe
What's
he's
the other one?
Madonna whore syndrome.
No, the psychology guy.
Freud.
Freud. He's in love with his mom and he wants another mom.
Well, I'm saying so. There might be some of that going on, but nonetheless, oh my god.
I would have not brought that up to my mom.
I would
acted
never.
Like I would have never saw it.
It would take me so much to get that out of my mind. The last thing I would do is like bring it up and like, oh, and then by the way, it's not lost on me that what he's asking her to do is just not be quite as slutty.
Yeah.
Like, no, mom, you can stay on Tinder.
I don't want you to be a Tinder whore.
Right. Eat all the ass you right. Eat all.
Looking for one,
That's
but
what-
I don't want you to be one.
Right. I'm just saying. Right. Hey, eat all the ass you want, but could you tone down the low cut blouse? Or,
Exactly.
what the fuck is wrong?
Exactly.
This is so bizarre in so many ways. Oh my god. I'm literally uncomfortable just talking about it. Like it's so. God.
Oh, this one was so funny to me.
Oofa.
Okay, this next one is crazy.
Oh, this one wasn't.
These last three are crazy.
All right. Guy, we're getting to the end, but okay.
Yes. My Tinder date last night went crazy mid-sex. I didn't add the whole title because title would have gave it up, and I wanted you guys to hear this.
All right.
That's all the title I'm giving.
But so far, we know it's in the middle of doing the nasty.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi ho.
Last night, I met a woman from Tinder at her place around 11:30 p.m. As she requested, I brought a bottle of alcohol and a few movies, and for the first few hours, everything seemed to be going great.
Whoa. Was this written in like 2004? Who the fuck brings movies? Everybody's got Netflix.
No.
Right. I mean, like,
He
guy
rented out
went
movies,
to like
he said.
fucking Blockbuster, right? Hit the DVDs.
No, he had said he got it from Redbox or something like that.
Okay. I already know these are low rent, right?
Mhm.
But okay, but go ahead.
Okay. We talked, we drank, and we took a lot of sexy photos. I'm a photographer, and this was the premise of the date. And of course, sex, which we discussed via text in the hour prior to meeting. By 4 a.m., we had finished all the booze, and we were making out heatedly. We were both still wide awake, though. Thankfully, she had got up, went, and found a condom, and we proceeded to do the deed. After about 20 to 30 minutes of hot sex, She asked me to stop, which I did, and she begins angrily asking me why I had not climaxed yet, and thought I didn't. And though I don't recall her exact words, it was clear that she both took that personal, and it was like she was blaming me somehow. This is where things went downhill fast. We were sitting up on the couch, naked, and I was calmly explaining the issue simply was that I was intoxicated, and that it wasn't a big deal. She slapped me. Not terribly hard, but enough for my first reaction to be to grab her wrist. She immediately apologized, went to the bathroom, and that's when I began to get dressed. When she came back and realized I was getting ready to leave, she flipped out. She threw my camera across the room, ripped portable hard drives from my laptop and hid them, and then attempted to block the doorway and prevent me from leaving. I found one of the hard drives pretty quickly, throw everything else in my bag, and head for the door to get the fuck out. At this point, she's yelling for her neighbors through the wall to come help her. I approached and asked her to move, and that's when I realized she had been talking into her phone as well, saying, "He's abusing me." As I freeze in horror, she turns the phone around to reveal she had in fact called 911. So I yelled, "I have no intention of hurting anyone. This crazy woman is blocking the door and won't let me leave, has damaged my personal property. Please move away from the door so I can leave." She refused and I wedged my arm behind her, sending her stumbling away as I bolted. I get to my car down the street, drive a few blocks down, park, and go inside a nearby restaurant, and here I am. She's called and I've answered the first time, and I immediately asked her if she has any of my property at her house. I know I had left one of the drives there and the DVDs that I had rented. She denied that she does, says the police are there, and they also demanded that I delete all the photos of her. I hung up. About 10 minutes later, she called again, and I didn't answer. She left a voicemail saying the police didn't consider it worth their time and had left, and to please come back because she misses me. Never fucking again, Tinder. Never again. But what the fuck do I do now? I need some advice. What would you do in this situation?
Okay. Did they actually file charges or
no? But I guess his DVDs and his his drive is over there.
Yeah, kiss those goodbye. just be lucky you got out when you did.
Mm-hmm.
And
she said the police didn't care about the situation enough. So
yeah,
they probably realized she was fucking crazy. She's insane.
Yeah, serious crazy vibe. I'm really glad he's scared straight from Tinder.
What'd you do, Eric?
I'd return her call. Okay, sorry. Section 3.19 of the guy code is the crazier the chick.
Oh my god.
Psycho sex is the best. And I'd be like, yo, if you want to watch me delete these pictures, we're going to do a few things first. And first thing I'm going to do is get my DVD so I don't have to pay $90, right, to Redbox for the lost copy that you could buy at Walmart for $9,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm going to do that first. Then we're going to do X, Y, and Z. Then I'll delete your pictures, bitch.
Yep.
That's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
I would blackmail her back.
You would go back for more?
No. Guy couldn't come the first time.
That's true.
How good could she have been?
30 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. That's not intoxication. That means that she's a fucking dry desert.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. She's probably just getting tired.
Maybe that's why she was so mad.
Yeah, but that doesn't excuse like the snapping and the going crazy and the hitting.
Yeah.
No. So obviously I wouldn't blackmail her back. I really just forget it. Pay the fucking movie cost, move on.
Fuck it. Yeah.
Block her, unmatch, whatever the fucking terms are, and move on. Block her number from your phone. Keep those pictures though as insurance.
As a reminder.
As insurance. No, because God forbid she files a report like, oh, he raped me.
Yeah.
He needs to show that there was a lot of consensual stuff going on and then he stopped and all that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lot hard. Look, at the end of the day, no means no and it always will. And you could be in the middle of, you can be like mid coitus and you got to stop. That's fine. But at least it will lend some credibility to his story if he's like, look, we were doing this all night.
Yeah.
And here it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm serious. I hate to say it, but that's the world we live in.
Yep.
So hang on to those.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You know what this segment has actually done for me? This makes me really glad that I don't know how to use these apps. I just, this doesn't seem like it's worth any time or effort.
Yeah. With all these crazy people.
Yeah. Whatever happened to the good old fashioned, like, let's just go to a club or a bar, strike up a conversation.
And just, it's not happening anymore.
I guess not. Maybe it's too bad. But I'm serious. Maybe these, like what I'll call apps that are designed to promote instant gratification could absolutely have something to do with the ultimate sort of decay in our ability to socialize as human beings. I mean, the internet in theory was supposed to like bring the world together, so to speak, with the sharing of information. No, it isolates more people, right? The long running joke about the pimple faced internet nerds that sit in their parents' basement all night chatting online and doing stuff. But that's real gaming, right? My son plays these video games. People are like all over the country on their headsets. They don't know each other. They're not real friends. They call each other friends. Yeah. They never fucking met. They don't even know what they look like. I mean, it's like, so it's a whole weird dynamic to me, which is really the shame of it all. I mean, I understand it was meant to be, a convenient way to get people, to do what they want and it cut the red tape, so to speak. But
it definitely has.
So,
all right. Last am I the asshole story, and then I have like
a special bonus one. All right.
Am I the asshole for taking a Tinder date's $400? Background. About a month ago, I met a guy on Tinder and we really hit it off. We met for the first and only time last night for dinner and it was instant chemistry and I really, really liked him. We went out and danced and he was clumsy but cute and just went with everything, which made him very endearing. He invited me back to his place and while I never had a one-night stand in my life, I just couldn't say no because my dumb brain was seeing wedding dresses, picket fences, and college savings account. Sex was really good, but he instantly turned into an asshole. I mean, the charming, funny guy was completely gone. I tried asking him what was wrong because I had to confess that I really liked him. He told me that he liked me too, but that was before he knew that I was a whore. I was like, fuck this. I start bawling. I grab my stuff. And he then takes out $400 out of his wallet and asks if this would help me get over it and stop crying. I told him he was the asshole, but I didn't know what else to do, so I grabbed the money and I left. He chased me all the way to the parking lot.
Okay, she is a whore. Oh, sorry.
But I got in my car and I left.
She took the money. Don't look at me like that. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
He sent me tons of texts saying, stupid bitch, the money was sarcastic. You can't be that stupid. So I blocked him. I'm devastated and honestly would rather have the guy he was prior to having sex back instead of the money. But honestly, he had some weird hang up and that guy never existed. And frankly, I don't ever want to see him again. Am I the asshole for taking and keeping that money?
Okay, I don't know about the money, but it's really terrifying when somebody just changes like that.
Yeah.
Like they're fine, they're great one moment.
I'm glad she took the money. Yeah.
Well, hypothetically, how many people do you think are on Tinder that are actually who they pretend to be?
That's true. Well, no, he put on this whole little facade.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I bet you that's not uncommon.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't think this is just men. But people will do and say what they think they have to get what they want. Right? And then they feel like, oh, I don't care anymore. It's sad, but that's what these hookup sites are anyway. Yeah. They're not meant to really foster real, true, relationships. And that's why maybe other sites are better, like the eHarmony thing or whatever.
Plenty of fish.
Right, whatever. Christian singles, farmers only. Well, Bumble. I don't know about that. The farmers only. There was a thing. I remember there was ads on TV.
Farmers only? I've never heard of that shit.
They had a fucking jingle. Okay. No, you don't have to be lonely. With farmersonly.com. That's real.
He's not messing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So like at first you think, okay, well there's got to be a market of chicks out there that love like the rugged farmers with the cat and the fucking buckwheat out of their tooth. No, I think it's all about fucked up farm animals and shit. Like it's a code.
Oh, ew.
I don't know because I've never.
No, we just want a guy who can fix it.
I don't know who is. I've never been on that site. I'm no farmer.
Heard how she said we?
Yeah, I know. Because I'm no farmer, so I don't know. But my point is,
afraid to get his hands dirty, right?
Right. Well, but my point is that I think that, and it's sad to say, but I think that you have to expect some of that when you're on an app like Tinder.
Yeah.
I think as long as you just leave it the way it was and don't read any more into something. Now, is she the asshole for keeping the money? No. I'd have kept it too. Fuck you. Yeah. Don't take it out if you don't want me to grab it.
Exactly.
And that goes for a lot of things. Thank you. No, Jennifer got it. Thank you.
Oh my God. Okay.
By the way, did I tell you we're watching this show?
What show?
Well, we're watching a few of them. One's called BMF.
Right.
And the lead character's name is Big Meech. And there was this whole scene where they show like his junk.
Oh.
Like after he had hit it with some stripper. And I don't know if like the writer or the actor intentionally made the writers like write in this like giant schlong just like for, but because I don't know if it was real or fake, but it was like all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, like this, it's like right up on the screen, Big Meech.
Oh my God.
There you go. Maybe this guy was a big Meech.
Yep, maybe. I'm glad she took the money though. All right, so the last one. Are you ready for this one? My brother-in-law is the reason why my husband left me, and I don't know what to do now. Remember, this is the crazy one. What I said you. Okay. I, female 38, met my brother-in-law, male 38, at uni. He asked me out in our first year, and I refused. He called me the C word. I don't know why she just put cunt, and that I was shallow. My best friend told me that it was harmless comments from a drunken guy who got rejected. I never thought that I was shallow, and it was his demeanor and awkwardness that was off-putting to me. Anyway, he proved my friend right. Other than these comments, I had never felt uncomfortable during my uni years because he never bothered me ever again. Next time I met him was when my baby sister, female 28, introduced him as her boyfriend. I didn't even recognize him at first because it's been like 9 to 10 years since that day that he talked to me. He was visibly annoyed that I didn't recognize him, and he called me a liar. The family was skeptical at first about him, but he seemed to treat my sister right, and she seemed happy. He's very rich, and taking her all over the world, and he seemed like they were just the perfect family. They got married after a year of dating. They have 3 children, and then I met my ex, male 40, 5 years ago. My ex, I guess she didn't worry, her ex-husband, I guess, male 40, 5 years ago. And the only odd comment from my brother-in-law was that I was still as shallow and superficial as I was back in university. At the time, I took it as a joke, but in hindsight, when I found out the truth and started thinking back, looking up for red flags, this was probably a big one. He never showed any signs that he disliked my husband, and he was always decent enough, and his indifference to have a close friendship with my husband and I didn't seem odd because he was always a recluse.
Yeah, recluse.
A year ago, my husband came home and accused me of cheating, and he had evidence. The guy contacted him and had nudes, etc. of me on his phone. The guy told my husband that he didn't know at first that I was married, but as soon as he found out, he contacted my now ex. He even apologized to my husband. I had never met this guy in my fucking life. Nothing I said or did made my husband believe me. He left me and our divorce is now pending. Then yesterday, that guy contacted me. He apologized for what he did and told me that he's friends with my brother-in-law. He sent me the conversations and endless conversations with my brother-in-law had about me for years. He has never forgotten that in his words, I didn't even give him a chance and only judged him by his looks. He called me a cunt in that chat as well. Both group chats with his friends, but mostly with this guy. They planned this attack, and my brother-in-law somehow got access to my photos. The reason this guy contacted me now is that he felt guilty because even when my marriage is over, my brother-in-law is still angry and hateful, especially when he heard that I was on a date last weekend. So the friend felt that he didn't help his friend out, but he just ruined innocent people's lives. Not sure what to do now. My brother-in-law has actually been happier and more sociable than usual since my divorce, and now I know why. Although first, I thought he felt sorry and wanted to support me. His jokes about me ending up as an old maid with cats as companions just don't sound like a joke anymore. He meant them. I don't want to ruin my sister's life. She is very happy with her husband. I'm not sure either if I should tell my ex or not. There you go. I'm very heartbroken that he didn't believe me. I love him very much and he is the love of my life, but I'm not sure I can forgive him for not believing me. What would you do here?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You could sue the guy.
I don't know what.
Isn't that crazy though?
It's crazy and it's sick, and it's unfortunately because really this episode has really been more about the human condition and some of the fucked up crazy things people do for whatever their reasons. But what's anything going to accomplish now?
Maybe she could get her husband back.
I don't. It's been how many years? 5?
No, they had met 5 years ago. The divorce is pending now.
Right, but he's already moved out. He's already taken off. Maybe they can reconcile to somewhat, but
can she sue the guy for getting her pictures?
I don't know.
Because I had saw like a comment that said that she thinks he got him because her sister had her password to like her iCloud, and he works in IT, so I'm pretty sure he could like get him.
He would have to. She would have to prove that he somehow hacked or got access to things he wasn't allowed to.
Do you think he's still in love with her?
I don't know. It's almost like he may.
I definitely do.
Well, he may think he is, but that's not real love.
Okay. Not natural.
That's what I mean.
Like,
He's got there's something weird with him and his dynamic.
I saw a comment that said that they think he only dated the sister to be in her life again.
That's what I would think.
That's possible, and
yeah, because I don't think that's a coincidence.
Yeah, that's just very. I agree. Yeah. That's weird and sort of out of randomness. But what can she really do? I mean, as she said, she's told her husband 1,000 times. It's bullshit. She had nothing to do with him. He must have hacked. If he chooses not to believe her, I also think that there's maybe a deeper reason for that.
I mean, I wouldn't that too, but it's like,
look, I think most men would be very taken aback if their brother-in-law or brother-in-law through marriage, not even came up and like, yo, I got some pics you got to see of your wife, and she and I've been getting it on, and I'm sorry I didn't know.
It's a random guy. It's not his brother.
Right, but I mean, to have it all set up like that.
Yeah.
I would be very suspect of getting, messaged by some random. Mm-hmm. The fact that they may have had photos.
That's what makes it.
Right. Yeah. I get that it sort of, adds to this idea, but at the same time, if you don't know who this person is, you have no background with them.
Oh, wait, and the worst part was I saw it in one of the comments. She responded because they were like, well, weird. It's like, why did you just have pictures like that? And she was like, well, they're the ones I had sent my husband before. So he also didn't even care to check that those were the same ones she had sent him.
Well, that tells me the husband should have known better.
Yeah.
Right. Unless they're really old pictures and she just sent them like,
Maybe.
oh, I got these like from 10 years ago, but here you have at it. The whole thing is I hate to be, critical lawyer, Eric, but it's just not well written enough.
Yeah.
Maybe she was writing this with a lot of emotion and she was upset and, because it feels like there's kind of some more emotion in there, but
her marriage is ruined.
I gotta be honest, this is like a fucking Lifetime movie of the week. Or this is like an A&E special.
That's why I added at the end. I was like, I have
you gotta get that,
this
like the
crazy.
fucking Maury show or whatever, like the baby. Like, that's what that is. This is like a Maury thing. I guess you can never know how obsessive someone is until you deal with these like the worst possible things. Yep. But I mean, short of that, I don't know what else she can really do. I mean, if her husband or future ex-husband is, halfway reasonable, maybe he'll calm down.
Maybe, listen.
Maybe she can get the other guy to tell him the whole story directly. But that would mean he'd have to basically ruin his own marriage now with the sister, to admit that he did that. And maybe he has to admit he's been obsessed with. Well,
all we really need is that friend to admit that he was lying.
Yeah. But in other words, how is this friend going to explain how he got the pictures? How he knew how to get a hold of the husband, all that stuff. I mean,
well, no, they would throw him under the bus.
But that's what I'm saying. So anyway, the other guy's marriage is going to get ruined. And
I wouldn't give a fuck. I'm ruining my sister's marriage.
Well, let me just say,
we're both going to
I'm going to refer to this person as the victim. And if the victim's husband is open-minded enough to listen to what she has to say, and if he loves her enough to where he'd be willing to just sort of forgive and move on, then so be it. I don't care. You're right. Fuck up the other marriage. And maybe the other sister needs to know that her husband is kind of sick like this and that it's not valid or real marriage. Short of that, I don't know. I mean, it's such a hard situation to envision, like what would I do? I really don't know.
What about you, Jennifer? Or your thoughts on this?
My thought on it. If the husband didn't believe her at all and actually went through the divorce, they probably didn't have a very solid marriage. Yeah. Because I would think that if you had a really good relationship, that, your partner would listen to you.
Like, believe
understand.
A little bit, Yeah, this one was hard. All right, so Eric, you want to talk about the cookie review of the week?
Yeah.
Before we end it.
Okay, so we've been going on TikTok lately, doing these like cookie reviews. We've done 2 videos. The first one we did was Milk Bar. No, Magnolia Bakery. And they were awful. So we went back to our old faithful Insomnia because they had these St. Patrick's Day deals. So the first one was the green slime cookies and cream, or slimy green cookies and cream.
It looked like a molded cookie.
It did. It looked like there was like green mold all over it, but really it was just food coloring. But still, it just kind of looked nasty.
Yeah.
They also had one with like a potato in it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And then we had like some of the basic ones. You could catch us on TikTok now to watch them, but I can tell you, fuck Insomnia and fuck Magnolia Bakery. I don't know what to do anymore. I really don't know. The cookie game has just gone down.
It has. But you can find the videos on TikTok at Bensama Confirm, and you can comment what other cookie places you want us to try here in LA. All right. So thank you all for listening. We appreciate all the support. Remember, you can find us at the Bensama Confirm on Instagram, Bensama Confirm on Twitter and TikTok. eblawfirm.us is for our website, and you can email us at info@eblawfirm.us.
One last thing, sorry, before we go, public service message to all. How many are we at? We're really, really close to
992.
So
we've been at 992 for a little while.
So maybe after this week we'll break the 1,000.
We will, yeah.
And then I'll do the bird story.
Yep.
And then public service announcement, guys. If you're going to go on Tinder, wear rubbers and use fake phones. Right? Yep. Get burner phones. Right? I'm serious. Get fucking burner phones.
And for all the people on here talking about them, they didn't want to fuck on the first time. Find another dating app. Tinder's not for you.
Yeah, that's right.
You're disappointed, you're upset, and you're stealing people's money because you're upset.
That's exactly right. So, bye ho.
Bye. Bye.